The NVIDIA GTC 2026 conference became one of the most powerful technological events of the year, and, in essence, a direct demonstration of what the near future of humanity will look like. It took place from March 16th to 19th in San Jose and brought together more than 30,000 people offline and tens of thousands of online viewers from around the world. Hundreds of companies participated in the event, from the largest technology giants to startups that only recently emerged from laboratories but are already creating technologies capable of transforming the market. But what truly set GTC 2026 apart from previous years was the sharp focus on robotics. If it used to be primarily a conference about artificial intelligence and computing, it has now become clear that the next stage is the physical embodiment of AI, and that embodiment is robots. Dozens of different robots were showcased in exhibition and demo areas, from compact service devices to full-fledged humanoids. Some of them already move confidently, recognize speech, interact with people, and perform real tasks. For example, robots demonstrated the ability to carry objects, assist in logistics, serve visitors, and even engage in real-time dialogue. Particular attention was drawn to the new generation of humanoid robots. These machines no longer look like experimental prototypes. They are becoming increasingly functional, stable, and adaptive. Their movements are smoother, their reactions faster, and their intelligence deeper, thanks to the integration of advanced AI models running on NVIDIA GPUs. This is exactly where it becomes clear why such events matter. GTC is not just an exhibition, it is a convergence point for several technological trends at once: artificial intelligence, robotics, computer vision, and automation. And when all of this comes together, what emerges is not just a new product, but an entirely new industry. Companies are already openly stating that robots will begin to be massively deployed in the coming years, first in factories, warehouses, and construction sites, places where physical labor, high precision, and around-the-clock operation are required. But it does not stop there. Home assistants, service robots, personal assistants, all of this no longer seems like science fiction. Interestingly, many of the solutions presented at GTC 2026 are already at the stage of commercial deployment. This means that the transition from demonstration to real-world use is happening much faster than expected. What once took decades now takes years. And this is the key point. We are not just witnessing technological development, but an acceleration of that development. Robots are becoming cheaper, smarter, and more accessible, which means their adoption will grow exponentially. That is why GTC 2026 can be considered a turning point, the moment when it finally became clear that robots are no longer the future. They are already the present. And now the question is no longer whether they will appear in our lives, but how quickly they will change them. After everything that was shown at NVIDIA GTC 2026, it becomes obvious that NVIDIA no longer wants to remain just a supplier of technology for others. It is preparing to take the next step, and that step could reshape the balance of power in the robotics market. According to information circulating in the industry and among developers, NVIDIA is already actively working on creating its own next-generation humanoid robot. And this is not just another prototype, but a machine that is being designed from the ground up as the most universal platform in the world. If previously NVIDIA stayed in the background, providing computing power and AI infrastructure for other companies, the situation is now changing. The company has everything it needs to enter the market directly: the most powerful AI chips, advanced artificial intelligence models, its own simulation environments, and vast experience in training neural networks. All of this gives NVIDIA a foundation that almost none of its competitors possess. That is why insiders are increasingly saying that the project is already in the final stage of development. This means that the robot's core architecture has already been formed. Key systems have been tested, and the current phase is refinement, optimization of movement, improvement of interaction with the environment, and training of models in real-world scenarios. NVIDIA's main focus is intelligence. Unlike many other companies that emphasize mechanics and appearance, NVIDIA is building its robot around AI. This means it is expected not just to execute commands, but to understand context, adapt, learn in real time, and make decisions in complex conditions. In essence, this is about creating a universal agent in the physical world, a robot that can work in factories, assist in logistics, perform tasks on construction sites, and eventually interact with people in everyday life. And this is where things become especially interesting, because if this project is successfully realized, NVIDIA could enter direct competition with players like Tesla Optimus and rapidly advancing Chinese manufacturers that are already actively deploying humanoids in industry. But unlike them, NVIDIA is not betting on mass production right now. It is betting on technological superiority. And if they succeed in creating a truly more intelligent robot, it could completely change the rules of the game. Imagine a machine that does not require rigidly predefined scenarios, that can understand a task the way a human does, that can arrive at a new workplace and adapt to new conditions within hours. This approach could become decisive. In addition, NVIDIA has another major advantage: its ecosystem. Its technologies are already used worldwide, from autonomous vehicles to industrial robots and data centers. This means a new robot could integrate into existing infrastructure almost instantly. In fact, it may not just be a robot, but part of a global system in which devices are interconnected through AI. And if current leaks are to be believed, the company may unveil its first fully functional prototype at the next GTC conference. This would not just be the presentation of a new device, but a clear bid for leadership in one of the most promising industries of the coming decades. Because the humanoid robot market is only just beginning to take shape, and whoever secures a dominant position now could control an entire industry in the future. And it is quite possible that right now we are witnessing the moment when NVIDIA is preparing to take exactly that step. But the most important thing is not even the robot itself, it is the consequences of its emergence. Because if NVIDIA actually releases a universal humanoid robot with this level of intelligence, it could trigger a chain reaction across the entire industry. Other companies simply will not be able to ignore such a move. This means a sharp acceleration of development, a surge in investment, and a true technological race. Tens of billions of dollars are already flowing into this market, but after the arrival of a major player like NVIDIA, that figure could multiply. In effect, we could see a situation similar to what happened in AI after the release of ChatGPT, when a single technology dramatically changed the rules of the game and forced all competitors to accelerate. And if this repeats in robotics, the world will change much faster than many expect. Because as soon as such robots become sufficiently reliable and affordable, companies will begin massively replacing humans in tasks where endurance, precision, and continuous operation matter most. And then comes the domino effect. First factories, then warehouses, then construction sites, and eventually the service sector. And at that point, the question will no longer be about technology, but about how humanity adapts to a new reality in which machines capable of learning, thinking, and acting almost like humans work alongside us. And perhaps right now, before our very eyes, this transition is already beginning.